In Japan, full-on panic mode has hit. This is a catastrophe, someone mutters, and honestly, they're not wrong. The big dogs of Japan's top 4 guilds, Short Sword, Black Hole, Undefeated King, and Snowy Mountains, have all been summoned. The vibes are tense. You already know it's serious when Japan calls in every single guild master. Then the doors swing open and all eyes lock on Sugimoto Reiji, the freshly appointed guild master of Short Sword, rolling up with his crew of S-rank hunters like a squad of final bosses. The whispers start flying. Wait, isn't that Sugimoto from Short Sword? Dude, he's not vice chair anymore. He's the new guild master, and behind him, the main force S-rankers. Yeah, it's giving we came to win, but the murmurs shift real quick. Didn't they lose like 7 S-ranks in the Jeju Island raid? Even go to Ruji. President Matsumoto's barely holding on. There's this low-key satisfaction in their voices, like, finally, the top dogs are catching some L's. They had all the S-ranks locked down for years, so it's kinda nice to see him struggle for once. Then someone gets bold. Yo, Short Sword is done for. This is our shot to rise up. But that smug energy fades fast when the pissed-off S-ranks throw daggers with their eyes. One glare was all it took to shut those mouths real quick. The opportunists dipped without another word. Minoru's clenched jaw says it all. Acting brave now that Goto's gone. He thinks, seething. Bunch of fake tough guys. Kane chimes in. They've only got 4 S-ranks between them. Same as us. Reiji scoffs. They think slapping 2 weak guilds together is gonna turn them into Japan's #1? That's hilarious. They're still weak. Scene switch. We're now in a high-level government room and it's not looking good. The Prime Minister's visibly stressed, voice strained. Why haven't we heard from the Hunters Association yet? An S-rank gate opened in the middle of Tokyo. Do they have no plan? He slams the table. What happens if there's a dungeon break? Tell us the truth. Chairman Matsumoto stays calm and calculated. S-rank hunters can't solo an S-rank dungeon. Not unless we call in national-level hunters. Another guild master steps in, trying to keep things from spiraling. Come on, Chong Li, don't ask questions we all know the answer to. We saw Jeju. We already know how this ends if we don't act. One dude throws out a Hail Mary. Any actual strategy? And then suggests they bring in Thomas Andre. But that gets shot down quick. He's expensive. Also, good luck booking him. Hunters that strong aren't exactly free agents. The Prime Minister's desperation is showing. How many hunters in the world would even want to help us clear an S-rank gate? Reiji, cool as ever, drops the mic. 1. The room freezes. There's one hunter who's down, if we flash enough cash. He's talking about Yuri Orlof, the barrier god. We're thinking of hiring him. Cut to Jin-Woo, vibing with himself. Damn. Level 101 already? He reflects on his upgrades. Got the Cartenon temple key at 100. Now all my class skills just leveled up. Kinda curious what's next at 102. He parks his car and glances around. Hope Jinho's not drowning in work. Man's hyped up, but we need to hire someone soon. Just then, he spots Cha Hae-in, in disguise, and running away. Jin-Woo casually hops over and calls out, "Why'd you run when you saw me? If you were gonna dip, why even pull up?" Flustered, Cha stammers something about leaving her car at his place after the whole Shadow Exchange ride. Jin-Woo just hits her with an "ah." Then she straightens up, kinda nervous. "Can we talk for a bit?" Her mind's racing with questions she wants to ask but knows she shouldn't. What's the deal with that pic you took with Soo-hyun? Why'd she make the cut but not me? She's only A rank. I'm S rank. Are they dating? But she swallows it all. Actually, Hunter Min Byung-gu asked me to give you a message. About your power. That got Jin-Woo's full attention. His expression hardens. Let's talk somewhere private. Inside the office, Cha checks. We're alone, right? Jin-Woo nods. She's low-key freaking out being alone with him, but he goes straight business mode. So, how did Min Byung-gu give you a message? He's been gone. Not the convo she was dreaming of. She relives the experience. Tell Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, be careful with his power. I was pulled out of the darkness by someone. But the thing that came back, it wasn't me. It had my thoughts, my will, but it wasn't mine. I felt like I existed only to serve him. And the scariest part? I wanted to. Felt good. His power is too strong. He needs to know this. The real army of Hunter Sung is... She trails off. Jin-Woo is left piecing it all together, and the weight of it hits hard. Later, while clearing a dungeon, he's still deep in thought. Was she right? Is my power really that dangerous? Whatever the case, I need to find the truth. More than I need to level up right now. Jin-Ho Midshu goes, "Man, this takes me back. Remember when we used to run C-ranks together?" Jin-Woo, annoyed, side-eyes him. "Swallow before you talk." Then Jin-Ho's like, "Yo, why not let the summons handle this while we eat?" But Jin-Woo shuts it down. "Nah, I gotta keep an eye on those dummies. And the further they are, the less XP I get. Not worth it." Jin-Ho switches gears, asks about Gina. "She doing okay after that school attack?" Jin-Woo nods. "She's fine. Doc said she should rest a bit. I left my best bodyguard with her, so I'm not worried." Then, just to be sure, Jin-Woo activates shared senses. He sees Gina knocked out on the couch, peacefully asleep, while Baru's next to her, fully locked into a drama about kings and their servants. Jin-Woo's like, of course that's the type of stuff he's into. He checks in on everyone else. "Mom? Good. The S-rank dudes? Still beefing as usual." Then his senses jump to Cha Hae-in, who's just straight up taking a bath. Jin-Woo panics and cuts the link, red-faced like a busted simp. Jin-Ho then drops some world news. "Yo, did you hear about the S-rank gate in Japan?" Jin-Woo confirms it. "Yeah, they contacted me. Still deciding. But he's got something more urgent in mind. The Cartenon temple key. Only 27 hours left on that countdown. A system invitation. What answers are waiting in there? Who are you? Can I finally get some answers now?" He starts walking. "Just one more day. I'll know the truth soon." Cut to Japan. Yuri Orlof steps up in front of a panel of stiff-looking officials. He ain't shy. "I'm Yuri Orlof," he booms. "The world's best support-type hunter." He praises the Blade Guild for evacuating civilians, but then immediately roasts them. "You only got 6 S-ranks for this? Really?" The Japanese reps look offended but explain. "We need to spread out our forces. 1 S-rank per guild to handle the A-rank gates." Yuri laughs. "That's pathetic. You really think that'll save your country?" Then he drops his price tag like it's nothing. $3.6 billion per year, or 10 million a day. Hire me at that price, and I'll keep the gate shut as long as you want. $10 million a day? The room straight up froze. That number echoed like a nuke just dropped in the middle of their crisis meeting. Yuri Orlof, standing there like the embodiment of chaotic energy, didn't even flinch. Man was drunk, cocky, and somehow still radiating raw menace. "You can save your country for $3.6 billion a year," he slurred with a smug grin. "And I ain't even asking for 36 trillion like Thomas. Compared to that, I'm basically a discount." Minoru leaned over to Kane, eyebrows twitching. "You speak Russian, right? What the hell did that drunk bastard just say?" Kane blinked, visibly uncomfortable. "I'm not sure, but I'm positive it wasn't good." Orlof cackled, then doubled down. "So what's it gonna be? Save your country for 10 mil a day? Or fold? 'Cause you want to pinch pennies?" He grinned like a devil. "You really think now's the time to be picky? Let me tell you. Not even begging on your knees and kissing my boots would be enough." Then, without missing a beat, he threw a jab at the back line. "And don't get me started on those losers behind you." He gestured to Sugimoto Reiji and the other S-rank hunters like they were bargain bin extras. Reiji narrowed his eyes. "So you're really that confident, huh?" "Obviously," Orlof drawled, not even pretending to be humble. "I mean, would you rather rely on me, or gamble on those clowns?" Minoru clenched his fists so tight his knuckles turned white. "He's definitely insulting us. he growled to Kane, who looked equally ticked. And then, it hit. Boom! Invisible weight crashed onto the room like gravity just tripled. The pressure was wild. Nobody could move. "You ain't taking a single step unless I say so," Orlof said, eyes gleaming with that terrifying calm. "Go ahead. Try me." Minoru and Kane froze like statues, their faces twisted in disbelief. "Yo! It's like I'm chained up," Kane gasped. "How the hell is he locking down S-ranks like this?" Orlof finally let the pressure off and flashed a smug little smirk. "There. Now that I've confirmed y'all are useless, how about you just chill while I take care of your little S-rank problem? And I'll release your friends as a bonus." Reiji took a second to catch his breath before replying. "All right, you've made your point, but I dunno if the government's gonna greenlight this." Deep down, though, he knew the truth. He clenched his fists, swallowing the bitter pill. Still, he's all we got. Phone call happened, quick and heavy. The response? "It's fine. We accept your terms." Back in Korea, Jin-Woo stood in front of his mom with that warm, comforting smile. "Mom," she asked softly, eyes filled with concern. "There's nothing I need to worry about, right?" Jin-Woo grinned. "Course not. I've just got an appointment. I'll be back soon." He left, and the timer on the Cartenon temple key was ticking down fast. 56 secs. 32. 15. 6 seconds. And then, boom, it hit 0. A surge of energy fired through the key. Notification popped up in his mind. The location where you can use the key has been revealed. Scene switched to Gina's school. Association agents were scattered around the campus. Their faces were grim. Above the school grounds hovered a familiar, eerie shimmer. A gate. "To think another gate would spawn here," one staffer said. "Good thing the school's closed. If students were here, this would have been a total disaster." Jin-Woo rolled up in a hoodie, casually approaching the scene. "Sir, you can't enter here," a guard yelled. Jin-Woo pulled his hood down. "Wait, you're Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. How long's that gate been open?" Jin-Woo asked, eyes locked on the portal. 3 days," the guard answered, voice shaky. Jin-Woo frowned. 3 days? That ain't right. The system said it would reveal the location, not spawn the gate itself. He inspected the gate. C-rank, tops. Nothing major. Hunters go in yet? Yeah. They entered about 2 hours ago. That's when it hit. Jin-Woo's instincts flared like sirens. That feeling. That same deadly aura. This was a double dungeon. "You need to call them back. Right now," he ordered, voice sharp. "Huh? But it's just a C-rank gate. They're all gonna die if you don't. I'm going in. No time for chit-chat." Before the dude could reply, Jin-Woo vanished into the gate. Inside, it was straight up spooky. Cold, damp, silent. The raid party, Dragon Guild guys, were standing in front of a massive stone door, confused out of their minds. "Is this the boss room or what? Why ain't it opening?" one asked. "We even tried magic. Nothing's working," another muttered. Then Jin-Woo popped up behind them like a shadow. "Holy, you scared the life out of me," one guy yelped. Jin-Woo, cool as ever. "It's a trap. Who even are you?" "I'm a survivor of a double dungeon." That hit different. One dude's eyes went wide. "Wait, hold up. Are you Hunter Sung Jin-Woo?" "Oh my god. That is him. This place is hella dangerous," Jin-Woo warned. "I got this from here. You guys need to dip." He walked up to the big door, still sealed tight. Why won't it open? Then he remembered. The gate to the Cartenon temple is currently locked. Please insert the key. He pulled out the obsidian key and slotted it in. With a deep rumble, the door began to grind open. The raid squad looked like they just saw a ghost. What the? That door didn't even budge before. Yo, how'd he open it? Then, as expected, someone had to act tough. Hunter Sung, just so you know, the Dragon Guild bought the raid permit. You can't just walk in and tell us to leave. Yeah, just 'cause you're S rank doesn't mean you get to boss us around. Jin-Woo turned, deadpan. I won't stop you. If anyone wants to enter, Go ahead. One cocky dude shrugged. Fine. I'll go first. He stepped past the threshold. Big mistake. Out of the darkness, a red-eyed stone statue lunged like a missile. Weapon raised, death incoming. But right before the hit landed, snap. Jin-Woo blinked forward and yanked him out of harm's way. Everyone froze, faces pale. All the monsters in there are like that, Jin-Woo said coldly. You sure you still want to come? Silence. Please, he added, voice firm. Leave this dungeon and call the association. Tell them this is a double dungeon. He stepped inside. The moment he crossed through, the heavy stone door slammed shut behind him. The one who possesses the key has entered. The temple was just like before. Towering pillars, dead silence, that haunting vibe thick in the air. This is where it all began. I've returned. But now Jin-Woo was different, stronger, wiser, and he could feel it in his bones. These statues, they're not monsters. They're not even alive. They're puppets. Somebody's pulling the strings. He scanned the temple. Only one thing radiated mana. One presence. His eyes landed on the angel statue holding that massive stone tablet. The commandments he once failed to follow. He stepped closer. The silence was suffocating. So it was you, he muttered. Won't say anything? No answer. Then the statue's eyes lit up blood red. The stone mouth creaked open, and in a voice that rumbled like thunder, at last, you have arrived. Back in the outside world, Yuri Orlof was soaking up the spotlight at Tokyo Haneda Airport like it was his personal red carpet. It's Yuri Orlof, reporters shouted from every direction, flashes popping like fireworks. The man of the hour strutted forward, totally unbothered, surrounded by a wall of microphones. I'm going to draw a huge magic circle around the gate, he declared, hands flailing with flair. Then I'll pour my mana into it. Easy work. Whatever's inside won't be able to get out. A reporter, skeptical, leaned in. Are you saying you can block off an S-rank gate all by yourself? The public's not exactly buying it. What do you have to say to the doubters out there? Orlof grinned. No shot I can sustain a barrier with just my own power, he admitted, leaning into the mic like he was dropping truth bombs. But my magic circle? It's different. It absorbs mana from the surroundings. So if you stack Tokyo with a bunch of mana crystals, that circle's gonna siphon it all in. He paused dramatically. It's like starting a car. I give it a little gas to kick things off, and once it's running, boom, it turns into a reinforced wall, feeding on ambient mana and crystals. He pointed right at the cameras, full confidence in his voice. I'm going to save your lives. Just don't forget it. Meanwhile, back in Korea, Chairman Go-Gun, he was watching the whole press circus unfold on TV from his office. He let out a thoughtful sigh. I don't know if Yuri Orlof can really seal off an S-rank gate. He muttered to Chief Wu Jinchul. But I do know what happens if he fails. Switching gears, he turned to more local business. What sung Jin-Woo up to these days? Chief Wu glanced at his tablet. He's currently raiding gates around Seoul, sir. Go-Gun-hee's eyes scanned the list. The Ajin Guild has requested entry permits for all of these gates? Yes, sir. But they're spread across districts controlled by the White Tiger Guild, the Hunters Guild, and the Fiend Guild. There may be some tension. The chairman leaned back in his chair with a faint smirk. A one-man guild pulling the same weight as the major ones. That's kind of fun. I agree, sir, Wu replied with a nod. Go-Gun-hee raised a brow. Did the Ajin Guild say anything else? Wu glanced at his notes. They asked to manage all nearby gates for the next week. Didn't specify why. The chairman waved a hand. Not a huge deal. As Wu turned to leave, his phone buzzed. Excuse me, sir. I'm getting a call. May I? Go ahead. I've got somewhere to be anyway. Go-Gun-hee replied, standing. Thank you, sir. Wu bowed, answering as he walked out. Wu Jinchul speaking. The voice on the line hesitated. Sir, we just got a report I think you need to see for yourself. Do you remember the school that got attacked by orcs recently? Wu's voice sharpened. Has something happened? Not exactly, but a gate just spawned in the schoolyard and the caller's voice dropped to a whisper, thick with tension. A double dungeon was found inside. Woo froze. A double dungeon? And, the voice added nervously. Sung Jin-Woo has already entered it. Inside the Cartenon temple, the silence was suffocating. The ground trembled. Dust fell like snow from the ceiling as the massive angel statue began to stir. Then, with a thunderous crack, the colossal stone tablet it held shattered. The commandments etched into it disintegrated into meaningless rubble. I see you have finally made it this far, the angel boomed. Jin-Woo didn't even flinch, eyes on the falling debris. So it's fine to destroy that slab, huh? I guess those commandments were never all that important. They were... The statue rumbled back, its voice deep and ancient. But they no longer matter. Jin-Woo's eyes narrowed. You're the one who called me here, aren't you? Yes, came the chilling reply. And then it smiled. Not just any smile. A nightmare grin stretched impossibly wide, revealing rows of jagged stone teeth. Jin-Woo clenched his fists. What even are you? A magic beast? You're asking the wrong questions, the statue said, its hands slowly clapping together like rolling thunder. You should be asking who you are. The air grew heavy. Magic pressed down on everything like a suffocating fog. The stone statues along the walls creaked to life, glowing red eyes snapping open. Now, this will be your final test. If you're still standing at the end, I'll tell you everything. That will be my reward to you. Stone knights, mages, assassins, an entire army of ancient constructs, stepped forward, weapons drawn. Their killing intent flooded the temple. Jin-Woo's shadow flared. Come forth, he shouted, ready to summon his army. That won't do. The angel raised one stone finger. Suddenly, Jin-Woo felt his power clamp down hard, like the system had just pulled the brakes on everything. The use of job-specific skills is not permitted for the final test. You're the only one I want to test, the angel said. I don't care about your servants. You are no longer authorized to purchase potions or items from the shop. You may not use quest rewards or level up recovery. You may not leave this room until the final test has been completed. Jin-Woo blinked, stunned. So I'm fighting this solo, huh? No shadows, no potions, no safety net, just him. He looked at the advancing stone army. I didn't think all the cards in my hand would get snatched like this, he muttered. Fine, I've still got my inventory. With a flick, his daggers materialized in his grip, dark steel gleaming. All right then, let's do this my way. He dashed in. The statues lunged. Swords sliced through the air. Axes swung down with deadly force. But Jin-Woo was faster. He ducked under blades, spun past spears, and struck with pinpoint precision. His daggers cracked through stone like it was paper, slicing cores and dropping constructs one after another. He weaved through attacks like a ghost, parried, countered, disarmed, shattered. Every move was clean, calculated, brutal. He leapt over a shield wall, flipped behind a charging knight, and buried his blade into its back. He wasn't the same guy who had stumbled through this temple the first time. No, he was built different now. This, he thought, ducking under a swing and slicing a leg clean off. This is what I've been waiting for. What I've been training for. The angel statue watched, unmoving. Its head tilted slightly, red eyes tracking Jin-Woo's every move. You have achieved so much with the body of a human, it said, almost reverent. Truly impressive growth. Jin-Woo gritted his teeth, cutting down another statue. These things looked like they were teleporting before. Now I can see everything. I can handle this. But just as he caught his breath, the angel's voice echoed again. But it's still too early for this test to end. The ground shook. Something massive stirred. Jin-Woo's eyes widened. A titan of a statue rose from the far end of the temple, shedding chunks of stone with every step. His grin was wide, predatory, and the angel, smiling now too, whispered one final line. Now then, it's time to worship God. The sterile quiet of Chairman Go Gun-hee's office was broken only by the slide of paper across the polished desk. Chairman Matsumoto Shigeo of the Japanese Hunters Association sat opposite, his expression carefully neutral, though the document before him spoke volumes of desperation. This contract stipulates that we will give up the rights to all the essence stones on Jeju Island. Go Gun-hee, his eyes sharp. But why? Matsumoto offered a strained smile. Because in return, we'd like to hire Mr. Sung Jin-Woo. Go Gun-hee chuckled softly. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but he's not an affiliate of the Hunters Association. I'm well aware, Matsumoto conceded, his tone stiffening. However, we can't get in touch with him without the help of the Korean Hunters Association. I'm not asking you to put in a good word for me. All I ask is for a chance to negotiate with him. The unspoken plea hung in the air, the massive S-rank gate in Tokyo, the loss of Goto Ruji, the crumbling power structure in Japan. They needed Jin-Woo. I can't believe they're willing to give up such a huge amount of money just for a chance to talk to him. Go Gun-hee mused inwardly. Then, Go Gun-hee leaned forward, his voice dropping, switching flawlessly to Japanese. I'd like to discuss this matter without the interpreters. Matsumoto blinked, startled. You know Japanese? My father ran a small business in Japan when I was young. Go Gun-hee explained dismissively, his gaze hardening. Chairman Matsumoto, if this is another one of your crafty tricks, I suggest you stop now. What do you mean by that? Matsumoto bristled. Go Gun-hee's smile didn't reach his eyes. I've heard rumors that the Blade Guild has cut ties with you. Matsumoto snapped. How did you know? It was pretty obvious, Go Gun-hee replied. I could tell something was up when the Blade Guild rejected funding from the Japanese Hunters Association and only accepted government subsidies. They used to be at your beck and call. Because of Goto Ruji, you were able to rally all the S-ranks when you needed to. But not anymore. There's probably a power struggle now that the Blade Guild has fallen apart, and the association must be failing to control the situation. Isn't that right? Go Gun-hee's gaze was piercing. If this gate isn't properly blocked off, you'll have to take full responsibility, Chairman Matsumoto. He slid a small, metallic object across the desk, a crushed camera lens. Go Gun-hee's voice was cold steel. Though he had malicious intentions, Goto Ruji was a hunter that represented Japan. So his death, the downfall of the Blade Guild, the mismanaged conflicts between the Japanese guilds, and the sacrifices that were made because of your crafty ploy, everything will be falling on your shoulders. What's this? Matsumoto asked, unease creeping into his voice. A camera that was connected to your receiver. It belonged to Goto's team. He let the implications sink in. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? Matsumoto stared, aghast, sweat beading on his forehead. Go Gun-hee continued. This is hardly the time for you to be negotiating with mana crystals. If this information becomes public, the people of Japan will have to deal with the consequences of your crooked schemes. He crushed the lens in his fist, along with the entire desk. However, I'm not cold-hearted enough to do something so cruel. I wouldn't want an entire country, no, all of Asia, to be plunged into a crisis because of one man's ploy. You'll have to thank Hunter Sung Jin-Woo for this one. Back within the echoing confines of the Cartenon temple, revitalizing energy surged through Jin-Woo. The stone soldiers renewed their assault, a relentless tide of gray. They just keep coming, Jin-Woo thought, but there was no fear now, only grim determination. It's too late to dodge their attacks. In that case, he raised his hand, focusing his intent. A powerful, unseen force erupted from him, far stronger than before. Skill. The Dominator's touch has been upgraded to its final form, the Commander's authority. The charging statues were yanked violently sideways, smashing into each other and the walls as Jin-Woo exerted his will. The air crackled around him. The giant angel statue, the true threat, fired a laser beam that nicked his shoulder. That was close. I won't be able to survive a direct hit even at my current level. I'll have to get rid of that guy first. He moved, a blur of motion far exceeding his previous speed. He shot towards the statue's massive head, aiming for its face. Another laser beam erupted from its eyes, but Jin-Woo was already moving, anticipating the attack. Another laser beam. If I combine my speed with the commander's authority skill, I'll be able to go straight for its blind spot. He activated the skill again mid-air, yanking the colossal statue's head slightly off balance with an invisible tether of force. The gravitational pull was immense. Even a fraction of his power was enough to affect the massive target. The upgrade made a huge difference. Landing lightly on the statue's shoulder, he launched himself towards its face, daggers flashing. Mutilation! A rapid flurry of strikes rained down, sparks flying as the enchanted blades met unexpectedly resilient stone. The Demon King's dagger can usually slice through anything, but it only left scratches this time. The angel statue smirked, its vast, chilling grin seemingly undisturbed. Well, if I can't slice through, I'll use brute force. Jin-Woo spotted a small crevice, a slight imperfection near the statues I left from the earlier battle. I just have to aim for that crevice. Discarding finesse, he reared back his fist, channeling his raw strength, augmented by his level and the sheer adrenaline of the fight. Take that! His fist connected with a sound like cracking mountains, stone splintering outwards from the point of impact. He didn't stop, raining down blow after furious blow, each punch shaking the colossal structure. I'll show you what it really means to be level 103. The statue groaned, deep fissures spreading across its face. It slammed downwards, impacting the temple floor with enough force to crater the stone beneath it. Slowly, the angel statue lowered. Its crimson eyes gleamed. Impressive? Its voice echoed, followed by slow, deliberate clapping that reverberated through the chamber. You'd better keep your promise? Jin-Woo grunted. His fists clenched. The statue's grin widened, pieces of its face crumbling away. Haha, the test isn't over yet. Can't you see? I'm still here. A new system notification flashed urgently before Jin-Woo's eyes. An urgent quest has arrived. The angel grinned. I am your final test. Your heart will stop beating if you fail to defeat the enemy in the allotted amount of time. Time limit, 10 minutes, 0 seconds. Jin-Woo stared, his breath catching in his throat. Who the hell are you? He demanded. Suddenly, Jin-Woo started receiving a dialogue notification. I'm pretty sure I told you that was a silly question, but fine, I'll give an answer. As that happened, the entire stone shell of the angel statue began to disintegrate, not from damage, but as if shedding skin. The hooded figure tilted its head, the shadows beneath the hood shifting. Its voice, now clearer, colder, and imbued with absolute authority, filled the temple. The shadows beneath the hood parted slightly, revealing a single, glowing eye that seemed to pierce Jin-Woo's very soul. You want to know who I am? I am the architect of the system. Are you satisfied with my answer?